As always, thanks for being here. There are links below with ways to support the show. All is appreciated. We begin this month with a dumb birthday game from February 5th, 1995, which I've titled, The Forecast is for Fun. Let's get right to it. The players: Pam from Savannah, Georgia, Todd at Emerson College, Dora in Seekonk, Stephen from Waltham, Chuck Tanowitz producing and playing in studio, and Ken Newman in traffic. The birthdays: Hank Aaron, Red Buttons, Bobby Brown, Roger Staubach, Al Cooper, Barbara Hershey, and Nigel Olsen. We gets ourselves 2 dates in history. In what year was the first Charlie Chaplin TALKIE released? And in what year was the first adding machine patented? Episode 221. The forecast is for fun. Storms its way to your ears in 3, 2, and 1.
Pam from Savannah, Georgia?
That's right.
No kidding. You cannot hear us in Savannah, can you?
Sure I can.
You're listening to us in Savannah, Georgia?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited about that, Pam.
Well, I recently moved down here about a month and a half ago, and when I moved, I could get you where I used to live, and so when I moved here, I wasn't sure, but I could, and so I can.
Now, where did you move from?
I moved from North Carolina.
Oh, okay, because I know we do get calls from there, but almost never from Georgia. I'm so pleased.
Yeah.
Talk to me some more with that lovely accent, because I think I'm falling in love with you.
Oh, my. Savannah's a real pretty area. I really have enjoyed it. I came down here for a new job, and so it's been exciting.
What kind of a job? What kind of business are you in?
I do counseling.
Yeah. Oh, do you? What kind of counseling?
I work with people with disabilities.
You sound like a very special kind of person.
Well, thank you.
That's really an incredible field. That's really nice. I've been to Atlanta, Georgia, which I think is a very pretty city, although I haven't been there in a lot of years. I don't know what it's like right now. But I've never been over on the coast like where you are in Savannah.
We should come visit. It's beautiful.
I'd like to. I think maybe one day I just might do that.
You should.
Have you ever been up to New England?
No.
See, hey, that makes us even. Then.
That's right.
Yeah, because I've been to North Carolina also, but you've never been to New England. So come on up this way. This is a nice area, too.
Okay.
Okay, we have Todd, who is a New Englander himself, living in Boston at this moment. Hi, Todd.
Hello, Norm. How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you. What do you do?
I'm going to college at this moment.
At this very moment. What college?
Emerson.
Emerson, you're going to be a broadcaster or a TV person or a writer, a movie person?
None of those. Sorry.
No, really. What are you planning to do?
I'm a light designer here.
Well, now, will that be in the theater? Lighting, you mean in the theater or what? No?
That's what I'm studying right now, but I plan on hopefully getting into theme parks or concerts. A little more exciting.
Oh, really? That sounds great.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, I hope.
Yeah, now, what year are you in?
I'm a senior.
Okay, well, best wishes, but you'll be getting out of here before you can hardly blink.
I can hardly wait.
It'd be fun to see. I've never talked to anybody who was interested in that area, and that sounds like a fascinating one.
We're a small breed, that's for sure.
Okay, and I hope the job openings are a large breed. Anyway.
Me too.
Okay, Dora is with us from Seekonk down near the Rhode Island line in Massachusetts. Hi, Dora.
Hi, Norm.
How are you doing?
I'm very happy to be awake for once when you're playing this game.
Well, I'm glad that you're with us. Now, what do you do down there?
I'm a homemaker and I paint.
Do you? What kind of stuff do you paint?
Lately I've been doing, a lot of figure drawing, models.
Yeah?
Models. And,
You draw them from life, you mean?
Yeah, life drawing.
People pose for you and everything?
Yeah, they pause and pose and, yeah.
Pause and pose, I know. English, as you know, is not my first language. I'm studying it as a second language, and I hope to master it one day. I'm delighted that you're playing the game with us, Dora. And are you pretty good? It'd be fun to see some of your stuff. Do you want to exhibit at any time?
I did one at the library in town last summer. I might try to do that again, but I'm not really famous.
Do you have no? But I mean, even then, we have an art association in the town that I live in. And I'm amazed at the quality of the stuff that people turn out. Really first rate. And they're none of them. I mean, they don't have names like not Beethoven, like Rembrandt or Picasso or anything.
Well, something people can learn, and I think a lot of people take it up at some point in their life, and a lot of them are very good. Yeah.
Do you have a Seekonk Art Association or anything down there?
No, we have some in Providence and Fall River nearby, and Westport. I belong to the Westport Artist District. I happen to go there. But, yeah, not in Seekonk, but we have a town arts council, and they organize the shows and stuff.
Oh, that's really nice. That's really, because I'm so proud of the fact that little town that I live in, and I've lived in for a lot of years, at one time we had nothing much going. We have an arts council and I forget what, a whole bunch of really, historic society and all of that kind of, and I think those things are very important in towns.
Culture.
So, well, yeah, I hate to say culture, that sounds so snobby, but basically, yeah, just a whole lot of things that people ought to know about that enrich your life, people's lives, and make life even more interesting. I kind of like to think of it that. I suppose that's culture too. But anyway, let's talk with Steve, who's Stephen in Waltham. Hi, Stephen.
Hi. No.
Hey, you sound like a young guy too. Are you a student?
Yeah.
Where?
Cardinal Spellman.
Is that high school?
Yep.
Okay, we're glad to have you with us, and it's nice that you're up this late. I appreciate you being there.
Yep.
Okay, we also, of course, have Chuck Tanowitz, who is our producer, who will be playing the game with us. Hey, Chuck, nice to have you.
Good evening, Norm.
Good evening. I don't have to ask you what your occupation is, because I can see what you do right here, and it's not a pretty picture. Okay, and we also, of course, have the very exciting Ken Newman, who's the WBC 24-hour traffic network person.
Hello, Norm. Hello, everybody.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, they're all responding. Son of a gun. This is a friendly bunch. And what would you like to be when you grow up, Ken?
A traffic reporter during the day.
Is there something that has more status for traffic reporters? I mean, like, for example, are you looked down upon by other people, who are on during the daytime? They say, well, you're not really a traffic reporter. You're on during the nighttime.
Well, actually, I don't get to see anybody during the daytime, so...
I don't either.
They don't really have a chance to look down on me, I guess.
I think we're both... The reason I brought it up was because I respect you, and I think you do a nice job. And I think you're right at the top of the list so far as quality and talent is concerned.
Well, thank you, Norm.
I mention that because I happen to be in the same boat you are. See, and I was kind of searching out for company. I have a feeling people who work during the day look down on me. I think Gary LaPierre looks down on me. I think so. I'm not sure. I hope...
It's the kind of cutthroat business, that it is.
You think Diane Stern, maybe she looks down on me. I really I don't really know.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Oh, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Deb Lawler, I don't think, looks down on me because she's a nice lady. Susan Rist looks up to me. I'm making all this up, you understand. I'm just trying to be frisky and silly, as a matter of fact. And Bill Lawrence he will be on at 5 this morning, updating everything. Actually wants to be like me when he grows up. But he'll never make it because he's not good-looking enough. Isn't that nice? Nobody laughed. I appreciate that. Usually I get funny answers. Oh, geez, what did he say that? What's with that guy? Anyway, here's how we play the dumb birthday game. Of course, today is February. Is it the 4th or 5th? No, today's the 5th. Yeah, and so I tell you who was born today. This is known as Weatherman's Day. Did you know that? There's no more explanation than that.
It's pretty appropriate for today.
Yeah, I guess so. It makes sense.
They've had all day yesterday. A national holiday out of it.
Yeah, but but this is a book that was published several months ago, and February 5th they have it listed as Weatherman's Day.
Well, it was nice here yesterday. It was 75 degrees.
In Savannah?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
We're jealous.
Yeah, when you hear about storms coming up through this way, does that make the weather seem even nicer where you are? Are you or do you say, oh, those poor souls up there?
Oh, yeah. I call my family and my friends in North Carolina and taunt them.
Oh, in North Carolina, did they have snow? They didn't have snow.
Yeah, they have. Usually the pattern is that if Atlanta gets it, then usually Charlotte and up that way will get it.
Okay, because at one time, from what I understood, Atlanta didn't even have snow plows running because they never got snow.
Well,
Is that so? That's not true, apparently.
No, they get some. Not a lot, but they do get some.
They got dusted yesterday morning.
Yeah? It's interesting because this past day I talked with we have listeners in the Baltimore, Washington area, and one guy said he's traveling from Washington up toward Baltimore, and it's normally about a 45-minute trip. It took him over 2 hours because of all the snow piling up, and he said he had a car with hardly any horsepower, I guess, and so he could hardly keep ahead of the snow plows. And he was really in a state of panic. He finally got into the house and he called, but they got about 4 or 5 inches. I never think of Washington, D.C. as having that much snow, but they did.
They've had more snow than us this year, I saw in the...
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, it serves them right for being in the nation's capital. Heck with them. Okay, today is Hank Aaron's birthday. Hank Aaron, I'll give you some information about him with some dates and all, which may help you figure out his age, although I don't have too many dates. All-time home run king, of course, Hank Aaron. He hit more home runs, 755, than any other player in baseball history, and had 6,856 total bases, 1,722 more than second place, Stan Musial. It's funny, baseball has more statistics, I think, than any other sport. You know how many times a pitcher spit during a game, or scratched his crotch during I think it's statistics for everything. Anyway, Hank Aaron played in 24 All-Star games. Can you imagine that? Most of us never get to play in one regular big league game. This guy was in 24 All-Star games, a record he shares with Stan Musial and Willie Mays. He was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1982. I don't know whether that helps you guess his age or not, but you have to be out of baseball 10 years, I think it is, before you are eligible for the Baseball Hall of Fame. And he was elected in 1982. I don't know whether he played up until 1972. It's possible.
He played later than that, I thought. I thought he played as late as 76.
Yeah? You may very well be right. I don't know. We'll start with you, Pam, okay? How old do you think Hank Aaron is today, February 5th, Weatherman's Day?
Oh, let's say 56.
56, okay. And Todd?
61.
Todd says 61. What do you... Todd hit it right on the button. He's 61.
Nice.
Yes. Did you know that, Todd, or was that just a guess?
That was the first number that came to my mind.
Right on the button. And Dora was not far off. She said 62, but I suspect the fact that you said 61 had some influence upon her.
I hope not.
Okay. Well, she was close. She was second closest. Okay. Red Buttons, the comic and actor and stuff. Actor, comedian, born Aaron Schwatt, Chwatt, in New York City. Red Buttons. He won an Oscar for supporting actor in Sayonara. In 1957, there's a clue there, he started his show business career singing for pennies in Manhattan's Lower East Side. He was in some episodes of Knots Landing and the movie 18 Again with George Burns. He's also been on those testimonial programs, the dinners, yeah. Well, no, the dinners, He said, you get a dinner. They didn't give a dinner to whoever it is, even though, you know that routine that he does? I can't think of a single example, and yet he's very, very funny with it. How come they're giving a dinner to you? They didn't give a dinner to Cleopatra, and look what she did for Antony or something. Now, that isn't terribly funny. That's not one of his lines. He would not like me saying that and attributing that to him. But anyway, that's Aaron Schwatt, or Red Buttons. What do you think, Ken?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Well, I think he's 65.
Well, your voice is rising in indecision.
It shows my lack of knowledge.
Well, that's
on
okay.
the subject.
I'm not quite sure too many people would be able to guess Red Button's age. He hasn't been on television for a long time. But anyway, Chuck, what do you think?
I'll go with 67. How about that one?
67, okay. And what do you think, Stephen?
72.
Stephen says 72, and Dora says
76.
76. And if Jack Hart were here, he'd say something about that's the spirit.
It's the spirit.
Or that's the number of trombones in our band, or he makes some comment. But Todd, what do you say?
74.
Todd says 74, and Pam?
68.
Okay, the Dora hit it right on the button. He is 76 years old today. Red button 76.
I was at his birthday party.
I see. Well, you sound like a kind of person that would be invited to a lot of places, including Bobby Brown's birthday party. Today's Bobby Brown.
That was a brilliant segue.
Yeah, that was
Nice, very smooth.
Wasn't that
Slid
enough?
right into that.
Wasn't that just so darn smooth that they'll probably have that as part of a textbook at Emerson College next year? On a segue. That you don't need that, of course, Todd, because you're getting into lighting and stuff.
And I'm a senior, so I won't see it next year.
Oh, that's right, too. Yeah. Well, that's I'll send it to you.
Oh, please.
You'll probably be doing lighting on some big-time Broadway play. And,
Well, you could still flunk a few classes.
yeah, that's right, if you want
Take the Normathan Segue class next year.
That's right. You could flunk something, and so you have to repeat the year or something.
Great, now I'm jinxed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, Bobby Brown, singer-dancer, born in Boston. By the way, he's one of our local folks. Hits include My Prerogative, On Our Own, and Every Little Step, for which he won a 1989 Grammy Award as Best R&B Male Vocal. His LP, Don't Be Cruel, sold over 8 million copies. And, of course, in July 18th, 1992, he married
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston is correct, Ken. They have a daughter. And anyway, how old would Bobby Brown be? Bobby Brown. We'll start with Dora.
Bobby Brown,
Bobby Brown.
43.
Bobby Brown is 43, says the very lovely Dora. Okay. And what do you say, Chuck?
35.
Chuck says 35. And Pam says
30.
okay. And Ken?
Say 27.
What do you think, Stephen?
26.
26 says Stephen. And Todd?
33.
Okay. Stephen hits it right on the button. He's 26. And Ken was very
Off
close.
by one.
Yeah, you just missed by just one year.
Story of my life. Just missing by 1 year.
Just missing by 1 year. Yeah. It was in all the newspapers this morning, and I understand it'll be a television documentary. The man who missed by 1 year his entire life.
Movie of the week.
Okay.
I think I saw that a fortune cookie once.
Bobby Brown.
You missed by 1 year.
Okay, let's see. Now, that means that we Todd, Dora, and Stephen all have one apiece. As we go to Roger Staubach, former Dallas quarterback, leading NFC, that is National Football Conference passer 5 times, graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy. For many years, I love this next line. For many years, he did the Rolaids TV commercials. How do you spell Rolaids? 7932 AB962. Am I close? Anyway, Roger Staubach, or Staubach, or however you pronounce it. I think it's Staubach. Staubach doesn't sound right. But anyway, let's see. We'll start with you, Stephen, since you won that last round. How old do you think Roger Staubach is today? Weatherman's Day.
52.
52. Okay, and Todd?
53.
Todd says 53, and Ken says...
Roger is 54.
Roger is 54, and Pam?
54.
54 also, and Dora?
51.
51, and what do you think, Chuck?
55.
Okay, you're all very, very close. You're all within the right area. However, it's Chuck, No, it isn't Chuck. I'm sorry. Don't get too excited.
Oh, man.
It's Todd who said 53, and that's the correct answer. And
I was
Todd,
off by 1 year again.
yeah, by
There
1
you
year
go.
again. That's right. You're Mr. 1 year miss. And that means that Todd has now burst out, sprinted out into the lead.
I'm out in the clear.
You're in the just not too far ahead of others. You've got two. Dora and Stephen are right behind you, so keep moving, because you know how Dora is.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dora and Stephen have one apiece, and we'll go to Al Cooper, Kooper, blues rock musician from Brooklyn, New York. Played a big part in the success of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Discovered Leonard Skinner and the Tubes. And that's about all I can tell you. I don't even have a year for all of that stuff. Al Cooper. Do you all know that name?
I don't.
Vaguely.
Sounds vaguely familiar,
Yeah.
but I don't think I'd know if I bumped into him.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't, actually, because he's a transvestite and wears women's clothing. I just said that. He's trying to get on the Jerry Springer show, because it seems like the rest of his career is pretty well wiped out.
And his lawyer will call you in the morning.
That's right. I certainly hope somebody will call me in the morning, because it's just so lonely where I am. Anyway, it's because groups like Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Leonard Skinner, Tubes, and so, not particularly well known. I mean, they're known, but they're not obviously contemporary groups, and so it's kind of a yesteryear kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a shame.
no, it is a shame how quickly fame comes and how quickly it just disappears down what we call the toilet. Just like that, it's gone. One day you're a big hero, the next thing you're being flushed. But let's start with, let's see who we start with. The last winner was Todd, so we'll start with you, Todd. Al Cooper.
Alrighty. 61.
Todd says Al Cooper 61. And Al Cooper says Todd
Right.
is 12. But what does he know? And Chuck, what do you think?
57.
57.
Why not? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Sounded like a good number.
57 is an excellent number.
Yeah, I
Certainly,
thought so.
the Heinz folks have used it for years.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
They like that, a lot. And what do you think, Pam?
47.
27.
No, 47.
Oh, 47. Okay. And Stephen?
63.
Stephen says 63. What do you say, Dora?
62.
62. And Ken?
I'll say 62 also, even though it's probably up by 1 year.
No, as a matter of fact, you're off by about 11 years on this one. And, 51 is the correct answer. He's 51. I think that puts Pam.
Oh, I finally got
Yes,
one.
Pam said 47. Yeah, so she was 4 years away from it, and that's closer than anybody else. The next closest was Todd, who said 61, so she's 10 years off. Okay, one of my favorite actresses, I just like the way she looks, which is probably not the way you judge actresses, but her name is Barbara Hershey. She's been in some of the Woody Allen movies. Her birth name was Barbara Hertzstein, born in Los Angeles, California. Barbara Hershey. She appeared in The Last Temptation of Christ, Beaches, Hoosiers. Remember she in Hoosiers? Do you remember that picture with Gene Hackman, the high school basketball team in Indiana, that based upon apparently an actual story, an actual team.
I saw that.
Yeah, and Barbara Hershey. Was that Gene? Did she play the part of Gene Hackman's fiance?
I think so.
I think that was her role in that. Falling Down, she was in that. I don't remember that movie at all.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
That was with Michael Douglas.
Michael Doug. Oh, was that where he was on a one-man
Killing spree.
killing spree?
Yeah, and he had the short hair and the glasses.
Oh, yeah, that's right. A Dangerous Woman. She was in that. Public Eye and Splitting Heirs. Heirs. I don't.
That's
You know
clever.
that one?
That's
Splitting
clever.
Heirs.
No.
And what was the? But this doesn't list any Woody Allen movies, and she's been in a few. Wasn't she in?
What, she was a Stardust Memories, wasn't she?
She was in one a little more recent than that. Also, the one with Michael Caine.
Oh, Hannah and her sisters.
Hannah's sister. What is it called?
Hannah and her sisters.
Hannah and her sisters. What? She was in that. I believe she was in that.
I
Was she
think
not?
so.
Barbara Hershey. Yeah. And I think she was in one or two other Woody Allen movies. If not, she should have been. Damn it! What's wrong with that man? Okay, Barbara Hershey. And we'll start with you, Pam. What do you think? How old is Barbara Hershey?
56.
56. Okay, what do you think, Todd?
41.
Okay, and when you're lighting her, I want you to, light her lightly so she looks like about that age.
A nice rose tint from the side.
Oh, that would be just so darn nice. Yeah, that would be nice.
Wish you got lighting in here for you, Norm, just to, for the radio.
We should do lighting for radio. Yeah.
Well, the next time you take your picture, Norm, I'll come in and light you for it.
That would be even nicer. That would even make more. That starts to make sense now. See there? Yeah, could you make me look like I'm really a young, good-looking stud?
Oh, it probably wouldn't take too much, Norm.
It probably wouldn't take too much. Oh, jeez.
He really wants to win the game.
He really is sucking up to me, isn't he? Isn't that pitiful? Dora, how old do you think Barbara Hershey is?
46.
Anyway, Dora says 46. And Stephen, what do you think?
55.
55. Okay. Chuck?
47.
Chuck says 47. And Ken? I think he's on the other line.
Sailor on the phone for us?
Yeah, was that cellular phone force calling you?
Yes, as a matter of fact. Let me just put you off for a second here.
I want to just take a guess on Barbara Hershey quickly, and then you can go.
47.
You're right. You and Chuck both said the right number. Now go on and answer the phone, because there may be some 75-car pileup somewhere, and Ken Newman should really inform us as to that. He could say, I'm terribly sorry. I don't care how many cars are involved. I'm doing the dumb birthday game. I'm too busy right now. I don't know how many would take that as the answer. Yeah. Anyway, Chuck and Ken did say 47 both, and that's how old she is. She's 47. How young she is. Dora, you were very close. You said 46.
My generation.
Is that about how old you are?
A little older.
Yeah. Well, that's a beautiful age. That's when women really begin to ripen into something very special.
Like fine wine.
Like fine wine, that's right. Up to that point, they don't even know what life is, and they just bland nothingness until they reach the late 40s. Funny, one of the talks I do, we talk about the older radio soap operas, and one of them was Helen Trent, and each one always had a kind of a little slogan or a little reason for the program to be on the air. This is an old radio soap opera, Helen Trent, and the announcer would say that the point of the program was, can a woman over the age of 35 still find romance and love, or something like that? And I thought, over the age of 35, that must have seemed very old at that time. To me, it would have, because I was very young in school and stuff. But 35, I don't think a woman is ready for romance. Probably till she's about whatever age you say you are, Dora. Maybe,
I have to tell my husband.
Yeah, late 40s. I think you're just about getting there. Anyway, let's do Nigel.
I disagree with that.
You're very young, Pam, are you?
I'm not that young.
Are you older than that?
No, I'm in my mid-30s.
Well, you got a way to go there before you become really totally desirable. But doesn't that make you feel good to know that you still, another 10, 15 years from now?
Well, it makes it sound like I'm not in anything now.
Say that again?
I said it makes it sound like I'm not doing anything now.
You just can't please all the people all the time.
I really can't. No, I thought
Take yourself out of this one, Norm.
I thought I was being. I thought I was really being very complimentary to the entire world, and that there'd be a statue erected in my name as a result of that. And no,
in
but
various
instead,
talk shows.
yeah, that's right. I'm getting a sharp-tongued woman, a witch, yelling at me. I think there are some. I just thought of this. It's kind of interesting that you brought that up. There are some women who become extremely desirable and tempting in their mid-30s. I just remembered that.
Yeah.
Now you're going to end up in the Jerry Springer show.
That's right. I had forgotten about that. Let's see. Nigel Olsen. Does that name mean anything to you? We're getting sort of hitting the bottom.
Yeah, I remember him.
He was a drummer with Elton John's band. Is that the one you're thinking of?
Yep.
His biggest hit, you know, his biggest hit was in 1978. It was called Dancing Shoes. Yes, sir, I put on my dancing shoes and let me dance. Oh, ho, ho, hey, hey. I think
Is that how it went?
Yeah, that's exactly the way the song went. Yeah, and it was a big hit. And
I can see why.
Yeah, he sang it like that while he was playing the drums. Yes, sir, let me play the drums. Put on my dancing shoes. Ah, ha, ha, hoo, ho.
I would think it would be tough to dance while you were playing the drums.
It would be.
If my kids are listening now, they're thinking, oh, Dad, jeez. How are we going to face our friends after you act like a total ass? Now, just stop it. Okay, Nigel Olsen. We're going to start with, let's see, we'll start with Stephen. What do you think, Nigel Olsen?
He's about 33.
About 33. You're about the same age as Pam. So what do you think, Pam?
I think 46.
46. Okay. And Dora?
45.
And what do you think, Todd?
43.
Okay. And Ken?
Say 43.
43. And Stephen?
You already?
You already got one.
Oh, you said 33. Did you say 33, Stephen?
Yep.
Okay. I marked that next to your name, Chuck. Excuse me. So what do you say, Chuck?
I think he's going to hit the big 5-0.
Big 5-0.
Big
Okay.
5-0.
Big 5-0. Okay. Nigel Olsen, 46.
Oh.
And that's exactly what Pam said.
Right on the
And
button.
so, yeah, that means Pam and Todd are now even at 2 apiece.
We're just screaming here.
Oh, this is such a tight game. It's a seat squirmer.
Down to the playoffs.
Oh,
nail biter.
This is a real nail biter. Yeah, Dora, Stephen, Chuck, and Ken all have 1 apiece, but everybody scored. So that means that on this last one, that's coming up this very moment, any one of the other 4 who have 1 apiece win, we can have a 3-way tie or more. Oh, this is just, I can't stand it. I'm beginning to sweat. Okay, here's let's see.
Run outside and get cooled down.
What's that?
I said run outside and get cooled down.
Oh, I guess maybe you're right. Maybe a little roll in the snow here, I think, would help a little bit.
Look out for those icy conditions while you're out there, though.
Okay. Okay, that's right. I understand the temperature's dropping, therefore the water turns to ice, they tell me. We learned that in Mr. Bluten's chemistry class.
You could slip and fall out on the road.
Okay. How about, I'll give you a date, and you tell me what year this happened, because the day would have been February 5th, which is today's date. The first Charlie Chaplin talkie was released. It was called Modern Times. And this was a talkie. Remember, we think of Charlie Chaplin, mostly silent movies, but he made some talkies. Modern Times, the first one. It was a satire on dehumanizing conditions in an industrial plant. Wait a minute. The satire on dehumanizing conditions in an industrial plant was Chaplin's last appearance, oh yes, as the Little Tramp, which was his character in all his movies. What year would that have been? The first Charlie Chaplin talkie. And I will ask you, Pam.
Oh, I have no clue. 1932.
1932. Okay, Todd, what do you think?
34.
Todd says 1934. And Dora?
1920.
1920. Okay, Stephen?
1923.
And Chuck?
1935.
Chuck says 1935. And Ken?
Say 1936. I think he was late getting into the...
He was late getting into them. He hated
the whole talking.
Even this one really wasn't a talkie. It was kind of a... the only sound was music and a little bit off of a record player. He really didn't do much talking in the movie.
You and Chuck are the closest. Ken says 36, and it was 1937, so you're right about being late. 1937.
The Wizard of Oz was in color, and that came out 2 years later. So he was way behind.
That's right. 1939 was the Wizard of Oz, and Gone with the Wind was 1939.
Yeah.
The one with Laurence Olivier, Wuthering Heights, I believe, was 1939 also. That was black and white, but I mean, it was
big year for movies.
A little more sophisticated.
Yeah, it was a very sophisticated talking movie and all that. I mean, there were a couple of other big movies that came out that same in 1939. So he was a couple of years before the modern times. Anyway, we now have a we have a three-way tie. Because Ken now has 2, Todd still has 2, and so does Pam. I'll give you one more, okay? Because we're getting kind of close to the news and stuff. How about the first adding machine? This is kind of tough. First adding machine, that was February 5th also, was patented by Frank Baldwin. It weighed 10 pounds and was 20 inches high, and it was the first adding machine. And
I'm ready to buy them for like $2 now, and they weigh about an ounce.
I know it.
Kind of funny.
I know it. And let's start with you, Ken. What do you think? What year do you think that was?
Oh, geez.
This is kind of tough.
First adding machine.
But then again, it's tough for everybody, because who would know this?
I guess you're not counting the abacus on this one.
Well, in a way, the abacus was an adding machine, and I'm not suggesting to you that this was an electrical machine.
So it could have been an abacus.
Which means it would be
like
what?
BC.
100 BC or something.
Well, that's right.
Before they started documenting time.
That's right. 2 years later, the first man roamed the earth. Or it was the first woman roamed the earth. I forget which it was. You couldn't tell, actually. Men and women looked exactly the same.
The first adding machine was a couple of rocks on the ground. There we go.
Fingers.
Okay. No, it was. I will tell you, it's within the past 150 years, so you don't.
We narrowed it down now. All right.
You don't have to go back that far.
Sometime after the Civil War.
Okay.
Well, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. No, I just said in the past 150 years. So, what do you think, Ken?
I'll say 18. I think it was 18 something. So I'll go with 1880.
1880. Okay, and Chuck?
Stick around that same area. 1883.
1883. All right, Stephen, what do you think? First adding machine. Patent for that. 1890. Okay, and Dora? 1890 was the year that Rose Kennedy was born.
1886.
1886. Okay, and Todd?
1876.
1876. And Pam, up to you now. You can win the whole thing if you come the closest.
I'll feel the pressure.
Oh, the pressure is
on,
great,
come on.
But you just sound like you can take the pressure because
relax.
You're a beautiful, ripe woman.
Work through it.
1885.
1885. Okay. The actual year was 1850. And then I wouldn't have guessed it would have been that far back, and except I had the answer right in front of me.
When was it?
So you didn't have to guess.
Yeah. I didn't have to guess. That's true. I think Todd said 1876. And, I would say Todd got that and now has sprinted into the lead with 3 correct answers.
Does that make him the birthday game champion?
For this game.
For Weatherman Day.
That's right. He's the dumb birthday game winner.
For the Weatherman.
The Weatherman winner.
The Weatherman, that's right. He's won on the Weatherman's Day, 1995. That's something you can take for your first job application.
Oh,
Todd.
thank you so darn much.
You can put it on a plaque.
Yeah, well, I just put down in the, in the resume.
Graduated under awards or under technical achievement?
Well, I don't know. Any way you want to do it, I suppose. You can see, graduated Emerson, whatever year this is.
1876.
Yeah, 1995. Won the dumb birthday game, 1995.
On the Weatherman's Day.
On Weatherman's Day, 1995. That's right. Well, this is I imagine you can write your ticket for any job in the world right now.
Well, I know your name carries a lot of clout out there.
Oh, it certainly does.
At least in 38 states.
In 38 states. Not even in the half of one state. But anyway, hold on, Todd, and Chuck Tanowitz will talk with you and take your name and address, and we'll send you something really totally worthless. Is that okay with you?
I appreciate it, Norm. Thank you very much.
Okay, so don't hang up. Pam?
Yes.
It's been a pleasure talking with you. I wish you the very best in your new home down there in Savannah.
Thank you.
And I thank you very much for calling. It's your pleasure to talk with.
Enjoyed it.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And same to you, Dora. Thank you.
Okay, it was over too soon. I really had a good time.
Well, I'm glad you did. I enjoyed having you, too. This was, I thought, a great panel. A lot of fun people. Thank you. And thank you, too, Stephen. And best wishes to you. I appreciate you staying up so late to be part of all of this. You sound great.
Bye, Norm.
Take care. Bye-bye, Stephen. And same to you. Ken, so long, and make it a good day.
I will. You too.
Okay, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon. It's 3 minutes before 4 o'clock. That was an interesting panel, you know. Okay.
As Norm mentioned, February 5th is National Weatherman's Day, now known as National Weatherperson's Day. It commemorates the birth of John Jeffreys in 1744. He was a Boston doctor and one of America's first weather observers. He started logging daily weather observations in Boston back in 1774. A decade later, in 1784, we would find him taking the first balloon weather observation over London. Consider yourself informed. And now we shall close the vault and leave this world a little sillier than we found it for Weatherman's Day. Sweet Southern accents, lighting designers, homemakers, painting, pausing, and posing. The Middleton Art Association, the cutthroat business of traffic reporting. Looking down on Norm, looking up to Norm. Aaron Schwat. Smooth, brilliant segues. The movie of the week. Rolaids, fame, lighting for radio. Suck-ups. The Cellular One phone force. Ripening women and fine wine. Dancing shoes, icy conditions. Mr. Bluton's chemistry class. Frank Baldwin, being able to handle the pressure. Chuck Tanowitz, Mr. 1 Year Miss Ken Newman, and the man who, in the right light, looks exactly like the statue erected in his name, Norm Nathan. I'm Tony Nesbitt.
Yes, sir. Put on my dancing shoes and let me dance. Oh, ho, ho, hey, hey.